5 on Your Side at 10 starts now.
From tragedy to inspiration.
Her life changed forever.
Tonight, Janae Edmondson and her parents talk for the first time about their settlement with the city.
And they never showed any compassion or empathy.
And putting the nightmare behind them.
The extreme hot streak, it's over. The temperature is coming down, but the rain and thunderstorm chances are ramping up.
Plus, in the hot seat, St. Louis County's former head vet defends his order to euthanize shelter dogs. First tonight at 10, developing tense and scary moments for shoppers at the Walmart store in Maplewood. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson.
Good evening. I'm Randy Knott. Mike Bush has the night off. In a span of 2 hours, police were called twice to the store for reports of gunshots. 5 on Your Side's Robert Townsend is live near Maplewood Commons in Hanley. And Robert, what more can you tell us?
Hey there, Rennie and Kelly. Let me tell you this. Right now, everything looks pretty normal and quiet outside this Walmart. Shoppers are still coming and going at this 10 o'clock hour. Police are gone. Now, the scary moments broke out around 5 this evening. Maplewood police tell us 4 of their police officers were already at this store working as security officers when 2 men got into a fight inside the Walmart. Now, the officers quickly arrested both guys and recovered a gun. No one was hurt and no shots fired. About 2 hours later, during a separate incident, a single gunshot rang out inside the same Walmart. Police say a woman suffered a self-inflicted gunshot wound inside a women's restroom. A frightened Stacy Clark immediately stopped shopping. Clark tells me she saw paramedics roll the young woman out on a stretcher.
By the time I made it to the front, they had the bathroom blocked off with workers and police officers, and it was EMS already in there.
Was she talking, moving?
Nah, that's scary. To be that close, that's scary. People got kids to go home to. Like, you know, bullets don't have a name, so they could be anybody that. And I mean, whoever it is, I hope they okay.
Now, in a statement, Walmart spokesperson is telling us, quote, the safety of our associates and customers is always a top priority. We're working with police as they investigate. And back here live right now, police have not said anything about the condition of the woman who was shot. They do tell us they arrested those 2 guys who were involved in that fight. Live in Maplewood, Robert Townsend, 5 on Your Side.
Within the hour, a heat advisory expired for most of the bi-state, bringing to an end 6 straight days of being under a weather impact alert.
Yeah, but the heat and humidity is not completely gone. Let's get over to meteorologist Jim Castillo, who is also tracking some scattered storms, Jim.
Yeah, so that heat a little less intense, and most of the area cleared from that heat advisory. You see Perry County, Missouri, this is in effect until about 7 p.m. tomorrow night, and also Jefferson County and Clay County in Illinois, that heat advisory continues. So the 48-hour forecast really tells the story. At 5 o'clock tomorrow and on Saturday, as we get into our weekend, clouds will start to move in, and that risk of a shower or storm is there. And with that added cloud cover and rain nearby, we'll drop into the 80s, probably hitting the low 90s before that happens. Same for Saturday, but the heat index still in the low to mid 90s, so still up there and still hot and humid. Right now, boy, it's still really warm in St. Louis, 86 degrees, heat index 89, and the wind is light, the high today 94, and those storms that we're talking about, they're dying out as they move our way, but you'll watch the futurecast real quickly. We're going to see the outflow from this, that rain-cooled air. It'll set up the stage for some showers and storms tomorrow. I'll time those out, and our weekend rain chances coming up.
Just hours ago, the former veterinarian director of St. Louis County Animal Control, who resigned after just 4 months of the job, addressed county leaders over ongoing problems plaguing the Olivet shelter. 5 on Your Side's Brent Solomon is in our newsroom, and Brent, he's standing by his decision to euthanize more than a dozen dogs.
Yeah, he is, but county leaders want to know how the parvo outbreak happened and why the head of the health department wasn't made aware of the decision to put down 19 dogs. Tonight they got answers.
I wanted to help change the culture of the program and improve it.
Dr. Douglas Pernikoff was brought on as a veterinary director at the St. Louis County Animal Control back in January. 3 months later, a dog at the shelter tested positive for parvo.
We needed to protect the whole population.
Dr. Pernikoff told county leaders Thursday the shelter didn't have the ability to isolate that dog.
So this dog was not segregated. Is that what you're telling us?
Exactly. It was in the general population.
So he made the call to put the animal down. That same month, another dog also tested positive, and before you know it, there was a rapid spread. In the days that followed, a total of 19 dogs were all euthanized, including 2 that bit a staffer.
Who did you inform? Where did this decision tree come into play?
Decision tree never was responded to by anybody. I distributed it.
Dr. Pernikoff says it would have cost some $1,100 to $1,200 to treat each dog.
Treatment requires intensive on-site development. We didn't have staffing for it, nor did we have supplies to treat an animal for. We're not a hospital, we're a shelter.
The issue the county had about this, Pernikoff never had a conversation with the county health director. In May, Pernikoff offered his resignation.
No, I was remiss for that, and I apologized to her. It was really the heat of the activity. You all of a sudden have 25 animals showing positive with clinical signs and serology, and, our reaction was we got to do something.
Other staffers also addressed county leaders tonight. Currently, the shelter is still operating without a license. They are working to get that license reinstated. In fact, we've learned the next inspection of the animal shelter will happen on Monday.
An urgent call for help tonight from the St. Louis County Animal Shelter. They received 40 animals in just one day and are now at capacity. Animal control officers rescued several large dogs, 2 pregnant dogs, and 4 cats on Wednesday. The shelter is asking for foster families to come forward.
Tomorrow marks 6 weeks since a deadly EF3 tornado tore through St. Louis and damaged thousands of homes.
St. Louis Mayor Kara Spencer says FEMA has already distributed a total of $17 million in direct assistance to storm victims. Today, a second disaster recovery center opened at Sumner High School. That's where storm victims can get information about FEMA funds and other aid. Another location will open Monday at the Urban League Entrepreneurship Center at Natural Bridge and Newstead. The center at Union Tabernacle Church near Newstead and Delmar opened last weekend.
Right now, it is taking a village to help people recover from the May 16th tornado. But St. Louisans are answering the call. Packages are already arriving at the Urban League from our Amazon wish list campaign. 5 on Your Side is a proud partner in the effort. The Urban League is asking for donations for everyday items for tornado survivors in need. Urban League CEO and President Michael McMillan is impressed by the commitment and with the outpouring.
We're going to be here in the immediate and for the long term. And it's really, really refreshing to see people from all over St. Louis, black, white, every race, every ethnicity, young, old, rich, poor, gay, straight, everybody coming together to try to help. That is encouraging.
The next large-scale community giveaway by the Urban League is this Saturday from noon until 3 o'clock at their headquarters on North Kings Highway. And if you would like to check out the Amazon wish list and make a donation, just text the word Amazon to 314-425-5355 and we will send you that link.
Tonight, tornado recovery is adding to the dangers of 4th of July fireworks. 5 on Your Side's Tracy Henson has the warning from officials who say devastated neighborhoods are at an elevated fire risk.
I can't say it any other way than fireworks are not safe.
We hear the fire chief say that every year, yet some of us don't listen.
This is not unique to St. Louis. As you know, this is my 4th city, and this is probably like my 40th year going through 4th of July.
Chief Tracy has this warning for STL.
Selling, possessing, or discharging fireworks in the city is illegal. Anyone caught will face citations and/or arrests.
Kids, too.
If your kids engage in legal behavior, or adults, like firing guns or shooting off fireworks, if it's a child, your child will be taken into custody, cited, and you will have to pick them up. When you pick them up, you will also be cited.
Strict penalties to keep St. Louis safe.
We have a special concern this year with, it's been dry for the last week, it's been hot for the last week. so everything's dried out.
In addition to just dry grass and foliage from all the hot weather we've had in St. Louis, the fire department is also worried about debris piles from the May 16th tornado.
We're trying to get those moved as quickly as possible. We also know that we have other debris piles that are the collection sites that we've been wetting down twice a day, trying to keep those things at the flammability at a minimum.
Damaged buildings in the tornado path are at risk too.
A lot of those homes up there have tarps on them. They're unprotected, they're open, and they're very susceptible to any type of fireworks.
Tracy Henson, 5 on your side.
Firework violations in St. Louis can result in fines up to $500 and in some cases, even jail time.
Well, tonight's heat and humidity did not stop some people from enjoying the first downtown summer nights of the season. Check it out. They brought their blankets and chairs to Keener Plaza to watch Grease on the big screen. There was also live music, food trucks, and pop-up bars. Downtown Summer Nights takes place every Thursday night through August the 28th.
A weekend trip to St. Louis forever changed her life.
God, it's just changed me as a person.
Tonight, Janae Edmondson and her parents talk about their settlement with the city.
It was like for them, she was a number.
There's so much more they could have done for her.
And their faith helping them move forward.
Our weather impact alert is over. Some heat and humidity is sticking around, and I'll time out some higher chances for showers and storms.
They just showed no compassion and try to make her life better because her life changed forever.
Lacking empathy and compassion. That's the response for the parents of Janae Edmondson on how the city of St. Louis handled their daughter's life-altering injuries. The young volleyball player lost both of her legs in a crash in downtown 2 years ago.
The teen recently received a settlement from the city. New at 10, 5 on your side's Mercedes McKay traveled to the family's home in Tennessee, where they talked about putting the nightmare behind them.
This is a ball that Janae was given by the USA volleyball team when they signed it, and we had went to an event where she was given the Daniel Scott Courage Award for her bravery.
Accolades of strength fill shelves in James and Francine Edmondson's living room.
Medal from her tournaments this year.
Medals and plaques representing the determination of their 20-year-old daughter.
Just having Janae with us, and she being the warrior that she's been and continue to be an inspiration to so many people.
Motivating others while navigating her new normal.
That's frustrating for us that she has so much still to go through to get to where she can get up in the morning and walk all day.
A privilege taken from Janae in February 2023 while she was 300 miles away from home. The Edmondsons were in St. Louis for a volleyball tournament. The teenager was crossing the street with her parents and hit by a driver who should have never been on the road.
Once the facts came out in this case, looking at that intersection, knowing that there was a major risk there and a liability there, they should have been able to take that information and say, like, hey, we were at fault of this right here.
Janae's tragedy spotlighting the mounting criticism of former St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner.
Jury found that this was not an accident.
The driver, Daniel Riley, who was sentenced to nearly 19 years in prison, was supposed to be on house arrest.
We had so many people come to us while we were still in the hospital talking about how bad it was with people not getting prosecuted and stuff. So if everybody's coming and saying that, then they know it too.
The Edmondsons believe the city of St. Louis never accepted responsibility for changing their daughter's life. A $450,000 settlement from the city says it all.
It was like for them, she was a number. She had this horrible accident. Janae and her family, okay, we're sorry, but we got to move on.
There's so much more they could have done for her. And it was like 2 years of avoiding doing anything. And yes, $450,000 is a lot of money, but it's not so much when you think about the expense she has.
The Edmondsons' attorney says state laws kept Janae from getting significantly more money. Missouri cap laws protect public entities from liability, and the maximum amount allowed is around $517,000, no matter what a jury might award.
Her life changed forever at that point in time on that day, and they never showed any compassion or empathy. The mayor, circuit attorney, and all the people that was involved in that. So I think they dropped the ball big time.
I like that you're looking up.
Despite the disappointment, the warrior in Janae prevails. She's currently studying sports management at Middle Tennessee State while managing the university's volleyball team and helping coach her old club team.
Janae, are you shocked at your strength, or did you know you had this in you?
Honestly, I'm surprised, but not really because of them. They're something. I tell you that.
You see, courage runs in this family. And if you ask them where that fearlessness comes from, their answer is faith.
God has just changed me as a person. It's
Carried us. I had this ring on the day when we were walking back. She was hit, and it says if God takes you to it, he'll take you through it. And that's what I would say you should take from it.
In Smyrna, Tennessee,
It's still one day at a time.
Mercedes McKay, 5 on your side.
The Edmondsons continue to thank the people of St. Louis for their grace and generosity during Janae's recovery. Janae's mother is also going to start writing to Missouri legislators to change the cap laws.
Jim joins us now with the weather impact forecast. And Jim, you're talking about a tad bit of a cool down in the days to come.
Yes, just a slight bit, just enough to where we don't have a heat advisory for most of the area. But we are going to have our rain chances ramp up. And I set the camera here. This is Chesterfield. In the distance, occasionally in the horizon, you can see a little bit of lightning out there. Not intense at all, and more of an orangey glow to that lightning. Those storms are dying down, but they're moving our way, and some clouds will move in. And boy, is it warm out ahead of all of that storm activity to the west that is dying down. 86 right now, feels like almost 90 at this hour. That is a little bit of an improvement from earlier this week. So 68 is the dew point, and that high today, 94. That was really several days that we had 94 all the way to 96 degrees. So there is a cold front to the west of us. Eventually that moves our way, but not until Sunday. A lot of storms hit Kansas City. Some of those were severe, but these are all weakening out ahead of there. But watch this futurecast. You get this rain cooled air. That's called an outflow boundary. It sets up across the area as we get into the overnight hours. And then tomorrow, with that daytime heating, showers and storms will form right along that outflow boundary. We'll have to see exactly where it sets up. But showers and storms will definitely be around, and more clouds, and it'll feel a little bit cooler. And even the overnight hours, tomorrow night into Saturday, a chance of showers and storms in here, and then scattered throughout the day on Saturday and also into Sunday and Monday. And then we dry out by Tuesday. But that futurecast heat index, not seeing as many 100s. So most of the area does not have that heat advisory. Then we get into Saturday's forecast, and there it is, 3 o'clock, low at mid 90s. So it's still hot and still humid, but a slight improvement from earlier this week. So there's the frontal system up to the north of us as we get into Saturday. There's Sunday, watching that cold front as it heads closer to us. But Monday, it'll actually pass through here, and with that, more showers and storms. But that risk of severe weather is very limited, if any. We just don't have all of the ingredients, the upper level wind support, but we'll watch it in case that changes. 7-day forecast looks like this. Low 90s, that sounds better than the mid 90s, but still hot, still humid, and some scattered showers and storms, not only tomorrow afternoon, Saturday, Sunday, and also Monday. Monday's high 88, Tuesday 88, but we're drier and upper 80s to around 90, still a little bit better.
A little bit.
And just a tad.
Yeah, just a little.
All right. Here's Corey with sports.
The Cardinals and Cubs finished their series with some fireworks. One of the best pass rushers in our area's history was giving back in Edwardsville, and a local product is now an NBA draftee. Sports is up after the break. Baseball is such a roller coaster. Remember how you felt Tuesday night? The Cardinals had just scored 16 runs over their first 2 wins against the Cubs and moved within 2.5 games of first place. 2 days later, those 16 runs were all they would score all series, and the standings are exactly the same as when the week began. Wilson Contreras and the Cubs are all smiles to start. Wouldn't stay that way. Chicago got on the board thanks to a solo shot from Michael Busch. That's all they would need. How many guys do you think have homered in a ballpark of their same namesake? Anyways, Shota Imanaga was dealing on the mound for Chicago. 5 innings, 3 strikeouts, no runs. 3-0 Cubs in the 9th when Wilson Contreras gets hit for the league-leading 13th time this year. He didn't like it. A few batters later, Cubs reliever Daniel Palencia strikes out Nolan Gorman to end the game and split the series. He turns back to let Wilson know about it on first base. Wilson doesn't like that. Here's Contreras on that 9th inning exchange.
I just said throw the ball, like throw strikes. My reaction was bad. I take that back. I apologize to the Chicago Cubs if I react the way I react, but I'm not trying to get another broken bun. That's what, 13 times this year? I know they're not trying to hit me, but it's not fun when you're getting hit in your hands or elbow. But like, once again, I did everything wrong today. I'll take that back. I'm not trying to fight anybody. He did his job. The only thing that I didn't appreciate was the way he turned around. But once again, I think it's just the heat of the game.
The more St. Louis area players we get in the NFL, the more summer camps we get around town. This year it seems like we've had one every few days. Today it was Bills defensive end A.J. Epinessa's turn to give back to his community. The name Epinesa is synonymous with Edwardsville. A.J. played here, his siblings played here, and his family is a staple of the community. The Bills veteran held his first camp in his hometown with about 240 kids showing up between both sessions today. I asked A.J. what it means for him to give back to his hometown of Edwardsville.
Just honestly, it's about time. That's really what it's been. It's been definitely due for some time, but finally getting the opportunity to do it is something that we've been really excited to do. And this year, having to be the first one, just hopefully blow it up and keep going for years to come. Community means everything to me. I grew up here. I played Little Tigers across the street behind the high school, played some games and practiced on those grass fields back over there. And, you know, I see a lot of myself in these kids, and just this is where I'm from, the passion to play the game, you know, just giving them the opportunity to get outside and to play the game of football. So it's been a blessing for sure.
Staying with local football talent, Cardinal Ritter grad Carson Boyd is settling in up in Champaign with the Illini. The highly touted quarterback is getting quite the education as a freshman as well. He is currently soaking up all the knowledge he can from Illini starter Luke Altmaier, projected to be one of the best QBs in the country this season. I caught up with Boyd last night and asked him what he's learned so far.
He's a great role model, I would say. He takes me almost every day, giving me tips and pointers on how to become a better quarterback. You know, he's a vet, so just following up behind him, looking up to him is going to be real beneficial for me. I would just say his poise and his leadership. He takes everything extremely serious. You know, he preps and practices like everything is like a game for him.
Speaking of Illinois football, some news from them today. First reported by the Illini Inquirer, the upcoming series between Mizzou and Illinois has had a change. The two teams will no longer resume their rivalry in 2026. The agreed-to series of 8 games in Columbia and Champaign has now been trimmed to 6 games, the first now scheduled for 2027. Congrats to Trinity Catholic alum Ryan Kalkbrenner. The former Creighton Blue Jay is an NBA draft pick. The Charlotte Hornets took the 7'1" center with the 34th overall pick in the draft tonight. Kalkbrenner was a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year at Creighton. Also, CBC's Caleb Love signed a deal with the Portland Trail Blazers.
This 5 on Your Side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
You know, things did not go City SC's way against Orlando on Wednesday, but have no fear, they are right back at it Saturday against Houston. Here's what the team had to say after that loss.
We were really struggling at the beginning of the season, and to recover from that, not only quality-wise, also mentally, is not easy. And but I think we are in a good way, even though the result was obviously not good.
Tune in Sunday night for a Big Sports Plus. Frank Cusimano sits down with Cardinals president and general manager John Mozeliak, as well as suddenly prominent St. Louis sports fan Coach John Gruden. That is 10:30 Sunday night right here on 5 on Your Side. I edited that Gruden interview. It's a lot of fun. You should probably turn in.
Oh, I just love following him on social media. He's all over the place in St. Louis.
His energy's infectious.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Corey. Getting an early start to America's birthday, one Missouri town's attempt to blast into the record books. This weekend, the town of Union, Missouri is hoping to set off a new state record. They plan to light off 1 million firecrackers, and American Legion Post 297. It starts Saturday night at 6 o'clock. There will also be a hot dog eating contest. I think Rennie's going to be doing that.
Oh, yeah.
For
Alone.
adults. And an ice cream eating contest. Jim will be doing that. And that's for the kids.
Tomorrow night, you can celebrate the 4th of July 1 week early. The annual JB Blast will take place at Jefferson Barracks Park. The gates open up at 5 o'clock. There will be food trucks and live music. Fireworks will begin sometime around 9 o'clock.
And we have a growing list of local 4th of July fireworks displays. Just text the word fireworks to 314-425-5355 and we will send it straight to your phone.
So the question now goes to Jim. Will the skies be light enough for people to see the fireworks?
On the 4th.
Tomorrow
or
night.
anytime. Tomorrow night. Okay, so we have a chance of showers and storms, of course. So we're going to have to watch each and every night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and into Monday. And then if there are fireworks on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we're good because there's no rain in there. We're also a little bit cooler, and we don't have a weather impact alert, which is fantastic. But we'll keep you up to date on this rain chance that's coming our way tomorrow.
Okay. That's all of our time for 5 on your side at 10. But remember, we're always streaming on 5+.
And be sure to start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.